Hey everybody, what is going on? It's Adam Vanderhoof here from GAWDA TV. This weekend, we celebrate Independence Day. The 4th of July is a great time to stop and reflect about all of the blessings that we have and to take a moment to give thanks. It's also a time to be with family and to celebrate. We want to take this moment to express our appreciation and gratitude to all of the GAWDA members who make this association so great. GAWDA was founded more than 75 years ago, but it wasn't until 2015 that GAWDA became a fully independent organization. It's with the support of members just like you that we continue to thrive as we continue our march toward 100 years. GAWDA is and has always been a member-driven organization advocating for the independent gas and welding distributor. This year has been trying for all of us, and we want to take extreme pride in knowing that the independent spirit of our GAWDA members helped get us through the dark times of COVID and through the other side. GAWDA distributors played integral roles in their communities, helping to set up field hospitals, provide medical oxygen, distributing PPE to staff and the community, and when a vaccine was finally developed, even producing dry ice and helping to coordinate shipping to get the vaccine out for distribution. GAWDA, together with our amazing group of consultants, worked together to come up with a business continuity plan that helped keep our businesses running during a completely unprecedented period of business interruption. So, this Independence Day, as we take time with our families and spend time barbecuing, many of us with propane grills made possible by GAWDA distributors, we want to take time to say thank you for making this all possible. Today's special extended Independence Day episode discusses the role of the independent distributor, Made in America products, and the partnership between the Compressed Gas Association and GAWDA, including on the upcoming Young and Emerging Professionals Conference. So, stick around right after a word from today's sponsor, Weldcoa. Joining us first today are Norco Incorporated Chairman of the Board, Jim Kissler, and CEO, Nicole Kissler. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Adam. It's a real opportunity for us to share a little bit of our wisdom with the GAWDA Group. It's always a pleasure talking to the fellow GAWDA members, and we appreciate this opportunity.
With Norco being one of the largest fully independent distributors, can you discuss where the company started and how you have been able to build it up to being one of the largest compressed gas distributors in the United States?
Good question, Adam. I don't think we ever intended or set out to be the largest distributor in the United States. I'm not necessarily sure if we even are. We're among the largest distributors in the United States. But anyhow, my father bought a company with 2 branches, and he started doing acquisitions. He bought 2 more stores that were up in Missoula and Kalispell, Montana. And then after that, it just kind of snowballed. After he turned over the company to me, I kind of continued the acquisition program, if you will. And between the 2 of us, we probably bought between 50 and 60 distributors that we integrated into Norco, rebranded as Norco. And now we have quite a few stores in our western 7 states.
During that growth, were there any specific markets that were growth drivers? And looking forward, are there any particular gas markets that you see as opportunities for Norco?
Well, what we've done since we kind of grew out of the smaller, more rural areas, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, we started to target some of the larger communities that were around us of Seattle, Portland, Salt Lake City. And now we're kind of marketing more so in those larger markets, just recently Reno, Nevada. So I think we've kind of switched from buying lots of small organizations in the rural towns to more working in the metro areas. And we're doing that particularly in the medical business along the West Coast right now.
Nicole, you were recently named CEO of Norco. Huge congratulations there. What does it mean for you to have earned that title?
Thank you. I feel extremely proud and honored to get to serve our employee owners as their CEO. So it's still fairly, I think when you work for something your entire life, it never really sets in. And this is going to be an ongoing transition. That's what I love about this whole family business, is that there wasn't ever a set retirement date, where Jim was just gonna say, I'm done with this business. It's an ongoing learning process. And I'm so grateful for all of the support that he's provided throughout this transition and what he's going to continue to do throughout this. And I love the fact that I can still just go meet with him regularly and bounce ideas off him. And I think that that's, hopefully what helps to strengthen family businesses is the fact that you've just got the longevity and the knowledge and the experience, and getting to still have that be a part of daily or weekly learning, or my experience is going to be great.
You had the opportunity to start your career with a different independent distributor. Is there anything you learned from your experience at Central Welding Supply, or any other nuggets you've learned from other independents that you have been able to implement?
I was extremely fortunate to get to spend, years with Central Welding Supply. Dale Wilton and his family and that company is a huge part of who I am. And I couldn't have asked for a better opportunity, to get introduced to the welding industry than getting to work with that group. So one of my favorite, one of the favorite things about that organization is the people, everybody. I had calls with some of them just even this week, and we get to touch base, and I'm constantly still learning from them, and they've just got such a great team. So I was very, very flattered that they allowed me to come and be a part of their team and to be a part of that organization for as long as I did. And even when, they knew that I was going to be returning to Norco, and I'd given them a few months notice to say that I was going to be coming back to Norco, they kicked my training into high gear, if you will. And Dale made sure that I spent time with every department, out with different customers, whatever I could do to best learn the business. And I think that was such an invaluable time in my life that it's hard to repay those things. So I'm just really grateful for that relationship and the emphasis that they had on their people. And we continue to talk about growing our people and how important they are here at Norco. So I think that's what, sets us apart as an industry. We've got a lot of incredible people in all of these organizations.
You are the only independent gas distributor who owns and operates not one, but 2 air separation plants. What has that meant for the success of Norco? And were there any challenges that you faced with air separation specifically?
Oh, yes, the challenges, Adam. I'll have to bring those up separately. But the air separation plants just gave us an opportunity to be more in control of our own destiny and our own future. I'd call it reverse integration into the supply chain, if you will. It gives us just more cost control, more management of our primary supply, which is gases and cylinder gases. So it's really been a bonus for Norco over the years. The difficulties, I'll tell you, it's tough to run those plants. They're very capital intensive. And so if you lose a component or we have a failure of a component, your whole team is extremely busy reaching out to competitors, trying to buy product to take care of your customers. And it can be a real scramble. We've just recently been through one. It's not much fun, but you take care of your customers, you buy the product where you can, and you get your plant back up as soon as possible. Those are the challenges.
Can you discuss the temptation of selling to the majors? What has been the main driver in resisting that temptation?
Well, probably the main driver of resisting that temptation, Adam, would be the profitability of Norco. We always work to not be the largest, but the most profitable in the industry. I'm not sure that we are, but we were able to pay our bills as we went. We were able to pay cash for most of our asset acquisitions in the past. And so we could always, afford to keep the business going, keep the business growing. And we kept it going for the employees. They had a stake in the organization. And when we did the ESOP, that was kind of our way of sending the message to our employees, and I guess maybe the rest of the industry, this company is not for sale. Now it's owned by our employees. This morning, we just announced a 25% increase in the stock price at Norco from over a year ago. And that was through the COVID period. So that was very rewarding for us and the Norco employees. Norco is a partial ESOP. So we refer to our company as a family-owned, employee-owned family business. Employee-owned family business. So we could always afford what we needed to do. We ran a profitable organization, and I never once was tempted to pick up the phone and call one of the majors. I could afford all the cylinders I needed, Adam, both the cylinders for my cars and the cylinders in the business. So we just stayed the course, and I don't regret it.
Norco has created roughly 40 courses for GAWDA University. For distributor members out there who are not utilizing GAWDA University, why do you feel that they should?
Yeah, I think GAWDA University is, one of those tools or those resources that this organization provides. So instead of having to go out there and reinvent the wheel yourself, there's a lot of content, a lot of information out there that's accessible for your teams and for the people that, need additional knowledge in their roles. And so I think it's a great, again, resource or tool, one more tool in our belt that GAWDA helps to provide.
Finally, with this being our Independence Day episode, I know that Norco has an American flag themed tanker truck. Can you discuss the significance of that truck?
Respect for people that have served in the military, and our thanks for the people that have served in the military down through all the years in the history of America.
We're very proud to be an American employee-owned family business.
Thank you both so much for joining GAWDA TV. Have a happy 4th of July.
We appreciate the opportunity. It's always fun to talk to the GAWDA members.
Yeah, we love this organization and we're flattered by the request to be a part of it. So happy 4th of July, and we're excited to be celebrating our independence.
It is important to keep your equipment running. Cryovation's thecryoshop.com has all the parts you need on the shelf to keep your plant going. Valves, vaporizers, pump parts, and more. Visit www.thecryoshop.com. It is easy and secure. We now welcome to the show Flange Wizard CEO Bob Doan. Bob, thank you so much for being with us today. How are you?
Oh, it's a pleasure being here.
Flange Wizard is celebrating its 40th anniversary in 2021. For all 40 years, you've been able to say that your products are made in America. Can you discuss how the concept of made in America has evolved over the years?
Okay, made in America was one of the very first things that I wanted to do when I started designing these tools. Because when you start losing, you got to have complete control of your products to make it so the welders can get and the distributors can get the product when they want it. And that was my main thing. And Cameron Perry helped me do that. He said, Bob, you need to have some sayings. And I said, well, how about made in America? Because that's what I want to do. And he says, I think that's very good. He says, right now, it might not be, but I think in the future, you're going to see that that's going to mean a lot. And it really has.
Do you find that being able to tell your customers that your products are made in America has given you any kind of competitive advantage?
Well, I would hopefully, being a fellow American, they feel the same way, that at least I can, a welding distributor can call me and say, Bob, I need 150 of these products. I know it's short time, but I know you make everything in your shop, and we can do it. Whatever we don't have on the shelf within a week, they'll have it. I don't care how much it is, because I can stop the press, so to speak, and start building the particular tool that they're wanting to have. And I'm sure that does give me a competitive edge over, it should anyway.
What do you feel is the role that independent distributors have played in helping Flange Wizard grow to what it is today?
Okay, back to starting a company like I did. I had to go to some of the senior guys like the Jerry Fries and that. They told me, Bob, there's a lot of ways to go for distribution. You can either go direct, You can do this, but if you're going to go through a distribution of your wholesalers and your distributors, you need to do it, stay with it, honor it, and take care of your distributors. And that's what we've done ever since. And my distributors can all say that too. I don't go to the big box people. I don't sell to end users. I go through my distribution, and they've done a very good job for me, and I see no reason to change. And I feel that I have control of my product, like I say, and a very good customer service, and that's what they're looking forward to.
You recently announced that your son, Rob Doan, would become president and that you would transition to the CEO role. How important do you feel that Rob and the rest of the team that you have built at Flange Wizard will be in carrying the company forward for its next 40 years?
Well, I realized what you were saying, that I had to do something too. And my son, Rob, was in Colorado as a builder, and he had a successful business, but he agreed to come back. I asked him to come back and learn. He's been with me 7 years here now, back in California. And he has done a very good job and has learned a lot. I think people respect him. And I missed my first GAWDA meeting this last time, for the first time. Rob was there, and I made sure that everyone knew he was going to be there. And he's doing very well he's going to take over there. He already has. And we have a good customer service in Jenny. Jenny is great. And Angel Zarada is fantastic. He's been with me over 20 some years now. And he takes care of all the manufacturing. And we have a very close-knit little corporation. And I wanted to keep it that way. And so I think I've got all my ducks in a row. And I realize that, hell, I'm 3 years older than Bugs Bunny. And when you get to that kind of age, you start having some problems. And I hate missing these GAWDA meetings and the American Welding Society, but I'm going to try to be to the national convention, hopefully. And but I have everything in line, and I feel that Flange Withers is going to really grow within the next 5 or 10 years.
Bob, it's great to have you on the show today. Have a great day.
I appreciate being in the industry, as being an old pipeline welder and coming all the way this way. I really feel good about it. And we do have the welder's choice for quality.
With manufacturing plants located in Longview, Texas and Huntsville, Alabama, Norris Cylinder Company is proud to be made in the USA. Manufacturers of high and low pressure cylinders, Norris works hard every day to meet the demands of independent distributors across the U.S. with help from our regional representatives. Call Norris for the highest standards of quality products and services when it comes to your cylinder needs.
Today's member news segment is brought to you by Anthony Welded Products, 4 generations strong since 1958. Registration is open for GAWDA's 2021 Northwest Regional Meeting, which will take place July 21st through 23rd at the Sun River Resort in Sun River, Oregon. Registration is also open for GAWDA's 2021 Seven Springs Regional Meeting, which will take place August 24th through 26th at the Seven Springs Mountain Resort in Seven Springs, Pennsylvania. Registration links for both events can be found in the July 1st GAWDA Connection, as well as in the comments section below. CGA and GAWDA are once again collaborating on the Young and Emerging Professionals Summit. It's an online webinar series that will run from August 3rd through August 26th, 2021. Dick Couch retired from the Hypertherm Board of Directors and assumed a new role as Chair Emeritus. Kaplan Industries began work on its new 15,000 square foot warehouse in Harrison, Ohio. Messer announced plans to build a new air separation plant in Central Texas. Holston Gases opened new branch locations in Lexington, South Carolina and McKenzie, Tennessee. The IWDC hosted its annual sales and purchasing convention from June 22nd through 24th in Las Vegas. Mississippi Welders Supply Company unveiled a new logo to better reflect the company's diverse product offerings. J&B Propane announced the launch of its new website. American Welding and Gas's Indianapolis, Indiana location is undergoing an expansion and redesign. CK Worldwide partnered with Workshops for Warriors to provide TIG torches that will help veterans and transitioning service members into certified welders. Weldcoa announced that Jacob Hansa joined the company's technical sales business development department. United Abrasive's 045 cutting wheels are made in America. They're high quality, they last longer, and are safer than other cut rate abrasives. Buy American with United Abrasives SATE. Finally, GAWDA is pleased to welcome RAS Enterprise as a new member of the association. To read more about each of these member news items or to submit member news, be sure to read the complete July 1st issue of the GAWDA Connection in your email inbox or by clicking the link in the description below. To sign up for the GAWDA Connection, you can also click the link in the description below. If you have already signed up but haven't been receiving the connection, click the article, How to Whitelist the GAWDA Connection, in the description. We are joined today by Rich Craig. He is the Vice President of Regulatory and Technical Affairs for the Compressed Gas Association. Rich, thank you for being with us today.
Well, Adam, thanks for having me come. It's good to be here.
GAWDA and the CGA have a partnership program for GAWDA distributors. Can you describe how this program works and the benefits that it provides for the members who take advantage of it?
The GAWDA CGA subscription program has been around since 2012. What it provides is an opportunity for GAWDA members to have free access to CGA publications and reduced cost access to CGA e-learning modules and seminars. The ability to join is fairly easy. All members have to do is provide certain OSHA information that they have to collect already to CGA on an annual basis. And if they provide just 1 year of data, GAWDA members get access to CGA publications. If they produce 5 years of information, they also get to participate in the GAWDA CGA Safety Award. The Safety Award is to recognize safety performance of specific GAWDA members. The criteria is for facilities that have operations of 100,000 exposure hours or less and over 100,000 hours. And they look at the performance of safety improvements over 5 years, and that's the criteria that's used to establish these awards. We've been giving these awards out since 2013, and they're always well received. And they're given out at the GAWDA annual meeting.
GAWDA and the CGA also partnered last year to present the Young and Emerging Professionals Summit, which will take place again this year. Can you describe the purpose of this summit and why you're so excited about it?
Yeah, the summit is a great opportunity for who we call young and emerging professionals, those who are 45 years old or less, or have been in the industry only a few years, to understand more about the industry. The summit is, as you said, was held last year, and it focused on gases. It talked about nitrogen and carbon dioxide and oxygen, some of the safety concerns, some of the information about those gases. We're holding it again this year in August. It'll be on Tuesdays and Thursdays, the first 4 weeks of August, and it's going to cover different parts of the industry. And these sessions are in 2 parts. The first part will be background information. The second part, and the part that's most exciting, is it's going to go into incident history and some case studies. You know, these are events that have shaped the industry. Industry standards are history lessons. A lot of people have heard me say this. Something bad has happened and a standard is developed to address that. And over time, because these standards are effective, people forget why you have certain requirements. And the purpose of the case studies is to explain why we have those requirements so people don't have to learn bad lessons again.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, the CGA was on the forefront of the industry, providing information and resources for its members and other members of the industry. Can you discuss the efforts of the CGA during this time?
During COVID, CGA's focus changed dramatically. We were very inwardly focused on writing standards and doing things for our members. But the COVID-19 pandemic forced us to be more outward looking. We were involved with discussions with FDA, and Health Canada, and many other regulatory organizations about oxygen supplies. What can people do to provide more oxygen in hospitals and the pop-up centers that people were building? We looked at our suite of publications and determined that some should be available broadly for free. Particularly, we had one about cleaning oxygen cylinders that were in healthcare facilities, because that was a very big concern at the beginning of the pandemic. Could it be transmitted by contact? So we made those available for free. We published a number of other end user publications that focus more on use. What could hospitals do? What could healthcare facilities do to increase their ability to provide oxygen? They were seeing oxygen spikes of 3, 4, 5, and 6 times their usual quantity. So we provided that information. We worked with a number of regulators to look at barriers that regulations were causing to the transport and availability of oxygen. We worked with DOT and Transport Canada to eliminate or provide enforcement discretion for cylinders that were out of test state. We recognized early on that cylinders that were beyond test state couldn't be requalified because requalifiers were closed. And to ensure we had sufficient oxygen supplies, working with DOT and Transport Canada, they were willing to give us forbearance for those test states. The same with driver's licenses for commercial truck drivers. They couldn't go and be interviewed for their renewals, or they couldn't go and get medical exams for their renewals. So we worked with the regulators to provide, again, forbearance so that people could keep delivering product, this needed product, quickly and without interruption. Also, we were involved with CO2 supply. When people stopped driving, producers of ethanol stopped producing ethanol, and CO2 is a byproduct of ethanol. And with that supply interruption, there were concerns that there would not be enough CO2 to provide all the meat packers and other food prep industries with the CO2 they needed to maintain the food supply. And working with regulators and with a variety of different groups we'd never worked with before, the turkey producers, the beef producers, the pork producers and such, worked with the government to understand what those supply issues were. Then in the fall, as the vaccines became available, there was concern about the availability of dry ice, because the Pfizer vaccine and the Moderna vaccine were all required to be shipped at ultra low temperatures that were most easily delivered with dry ice. And in talking with both industries, the pharmaceuticals, and with government agencies, assured them that we did have sufficient supplies of dry ice to keep the supply chain going.
Rich, pleasure to have you on the show today. Thanks for joining.
Being active for more than 70 years, always following the original mission. Wherever gas is the integral part and provides energy for everyday life, there will be the technological and productive commitment from Cavagna Group.
Thank you to everybody who tuned in this week. Before we go, we wanted to provide you with a quick update to GAWDA members on the status of the 2021 GAWDA membership directory. This year's directory will be hitting people's desks in the next few weeks, and we are very excited about some of the improvements that have been made this year, including the inclusion of every distributor's logo. If you would like to receive a PDF copy of the directory, in addition to the print copy, please contact Andrea Levy at GAWDA headquarters, who can provide you with a downloadable PDF once the directory is finalized. We would once again like to wish you all a safe and happy 4th of July. We hope you'll join us next time as we take a more in-depth look at what our volunteer GAWDA committees are doing to make your GAWDA membership even more valuable. Before we go, we wanted to leave you with some holiday wishes from some of our GAWDA members. Until next time, I'm Adam Vanderhoof.